Matrix multiplication is a little weird. The process, I'm not sure how it came about necessarily, but how it's going to work. If we wanted to do, for instance, C times D, we'll do this one by hand. This is a 2 by 3 matrix. This is a 2 by 2 matrix. Well, you can see right off the bat we can't do C times D. This does not exist, because the 3 and the 2 don't match up. If, however, we wanted to do DC, let me just do DC instead, we're going to do -1570 times 1, 2, -7, 3, 4, 0. Okay, so if I wanted to multiply these two matrices together, DC, I would do it like this. This is, of course, going to give me, this is a 2 by 2 matrix, this is a 2 by 3 matrix. The inner dimensions match, the 2 and the 2, and the outer dimensions are 2 by 3. So this is going to give me a 2 by 3 matrix. And there's going to be, these are the entries that are going to be in there. I'm going to go ahead and figure out what each of them are individually. So this first entry right here, this is the first row, first column. And how this is going to work is I'm going to take the first row here and the first column here. So with the first matrix, I'm going to take the row. With the second matrix, I'm going to take the column. And you can see there's 2 entries here, 2 entries here. This is why we needed the inner dimensions to match there. We needed those numbers to match up. So let's see. I'm envisioning picking this up, this 1, 3, picking it up and kind of flopping it over. So the 1 hits that number and the 3 hits this number. You can't even read what I'm writing there. The 1 hits the -1, the 3 hits the 5. And when I say they hit, they're going to be multiplied together. And then I'm going to end up adding the results of all those multiplications. So 1 times -1, because the 1 hits the -1. 3 times 5, because the 3 hits the 5. And then I'm going to be adding those together. This will tell me what this first entry is. So -1 plus 15 gives me 14. This number here is 14. And I can do this for all of these. This is this one right here. This is the first row, second column. First row, second column. I'm going to take the first row here, the 1 and then the 5, and the second column here, the 2 and the 4. I'll do the multiplication, which gives me -2 plus 20, and add those things together to give me 18. So this value will be 18. And lastly, this one here, the 7 and the 0. Let's see, -1, 5, 7, 0. There's the multiplication, there's the addition. So we get -7 plus 0. We get -7. Then we can do the same thing for this second column, or second row rather. But in this case, instead of using the -1 and the 5, I'm going to be using the 7, 0 for each of those. So here, again, imagine picking up this column and flopping it over. The 1 hits the 7, and the 3 hits the 0. Here we can just get a 7. For the second one, we're doing here and here. This is 7 times 2 plus 0 times 4. 0 and the 4 there. So kind of simultaneously I'm working along, you can't see both my hands, but I'm working to the right, and start from the left and work to the right on that one as I'm starting from the top and working down on this one. If there's multiple entries, you'd kind of do both of those at the same time as you're writing them down. Alright, so 0 times 4, so this is 14. And then lastly, we get -7 times 7 plus 0 times 0. I should probably do that in the same order, shouldn't I? 7 times -7 plus 0 times 0, which is -49. And so to do this multiplication, DC is that matrix there. Yeah. Now, I'm not going to require you guys to do these this matrix multiplication by hand. I just wanted you to see an example of kind of how it works. If you're interested in seeing more examples of matrix multiplication, you can look elsewhere. Like I said, I'm not requiring it for this class, so I'm not going to spend any more time on it here.